All right, all right, all right. I am so excited to have you two ladies on with me. Let me give introductions. So let me start off with the beautiful Shannel Parker, quote unquote, the sex CEO. When I need something to make my vagina happy, I call her up so she can send me what's new in making the vagina happy. So, Shannel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, hi everyone. Shannel from Queens, New York. I've been, my business is called Pure Romance by Shannel. I've been in business for 15 years this year. Holler for that. And yeah, I do bath and body, I do intimacy and, foreplay for toys for women. So it's all about body positivity. It's all about sex education and, all about women just making sure that they're getting everything they need out of their sexual experiences. So, and thanks for inviting me. I'm excited.
Anytime. Now, for the beautiful, sexy Jennifer Eden. I remember when I met you at a poetry slam in Philly, and you was amazing. Not only beautiful and radiant, look at that smile, but you was totally amazing, and it made me want to follow you. Like, oh my God, who this woman is? And then I saw that you was a sex educator, and you was so sex positive, and I was like, yes, Jennifer. Introduce yourself, boo.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Eden. I go by lots of names in lots of different spaces, but in this space, I am Jennifer Eden. I am the founder and lead educator of Pleasure Over Everything, Pleasure Coaching and Sex Education. So POET is the acronym. It also works because I am a poet, so I get to kind of put those two worlds together through my sex education business. I also have been able to use poetry as well as different artistic themed events as a way to open people's eyes to different means of sexual expression, body positivity, and kink exploration. That's what I do.
Oh, we're going to get into kink a little later on.
You sound like you're so excited already.
I'm so excited about this conversation today. I'm so excited. Okay, so we did all the logistics, the introductions, all of that. Let's get into what we came to talk about.
Sure.
The vagina. Okay. What do you call your vagina?
Oh my God.
No?
I don't think I even have a name. Like, I don't name my vagina. I just work my vagina and I just take care of it. But I don't think I walk around like, it's Hazel or Pearl or something.
Jennifer, I know you got a name for that vagina.
That was cute. I like Hazel. That was
Hazel? Sounds like an old woman in a nursing home, like Mildred.
It could be like Hazel Eyes, I don't know, Sexy Grant, I don't know.
Jen, what you call your vagina?
So I don't really have a name for mine either. Informally, pussy. I call my pussy a pussy. I have jokingly referred to it by a lot of things. I am a non-binary femme, which means that I operate in masculine and feminine energies interchangeably. So when I am sitting more in my masculine energy, I have referred to my pussy as Earl.
Oh, all right.
Just to assert that, like, I mean business, okay? But no, I don't really, actually, it's not just Earl. I feel like if anybody's ever heard me say this, they like, no, you got to say the whole thing. So I say a grown-ass nigga named Earl because we on some grown shit over here. But other than that, I don't have a formal name for it. I don't have like a euphemism. I know a lot of people call it like their cookie or their coin purse or whatever else. It's just a pussy.
Yeah.
Well, I call mine the yummy. Because
Okay.
she's yummy. So when I talk about her, I be like, yeah, my yummy, my yum yum. Sometimes she's my cupcake. It just depends on how I feel.
But I think that's good, actually. Like I said, I never thought about it, but I think when you're talking about like positive, sex vibes and positivity, you should give some kind of positive affirmation to your vagina and your vulva, because you want to like love on it. You want to manifest good things for it. You want to speak good. You want to speak light into that. So it might be a good idea to come up with something like some kind of name that really, like speaks to you. I'm gonna think on that.
I mean, when I'm in the middle of a sexual act, I'm sure I says, eat this pussy. Okay. Because pussy just, it's power behind that word, pussy. Okay. So in sex, I definitely call her my pussy, but just talking about her in regular terms, she's my yummy. I love her.
As you should.
Women are learning now to love their vaginas more.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. And it's exciting. It's really exciting. Because I know for so long, sometimes it can be looked at as shame to be, if you like to have a lot of sexual partners, if you just enjoy sex a lot, it was kind of looked on that it was a negative thing, or you were a hoe, or something was wrong with you. But nothing's wrong with me. I just enjoy my body. I enjoy the feelings that I receive from the pleasure that I get from other people, and there's just nothing wrong with that. So it's exciting. And I'm following Jennifer and Davone and like other women, and also to just have women of color in this space, to me is even more so empowering, because I think for us, it takes a lot for us to see ourselves as beautiful and unique, and everything about us is amazing. And so now you even have women of color saying those things as well. It's just really been enlightening and great. So I'm excited.
Jennifer?
So I think that when it comes to connecting with your body, if you have felt like out of touch from your pussy, if you haven't had sex in a while, or if it's not something that's been pleasurable for you, naming it is a really good technique to like bring it into your conversation. Like when you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, say something nice about yourself, tell yourself that you are beautiful, but also like affirm your pussy. Tell your pussy that like it deserves to feel good, it deserves to bring you pleasure, it deserves companionship that is affirming, and all of those things. So yeah, like I'm glad that folks are learning different ways to connect with their bodies. And I'm glad that being in quarantine or social distancing or isolation or whatever phase of things people in different areas are in, one benefit is that we've been able to spend a lot of time with ourselves and getting to know our bodies. So, whatever it takes to connect, you now have the time and the space and the freedom to do so. You just have to give yourself permission to explore.
This is true. This is true. Okay, so we have our vagina, and she's sensitive. She has 8,000 nerve endings when a man's penis only has 4,000. So that makes us double powerful, more powerful than a man. But she's sensitive when it comes down to her pH too. She can't be too warm. She can't be too moist. She'll maybe get a yeast infection. Let's discuss some things that we can do naturally to make sure she stays yummy.
Yes.
So, Jennifer?
So first and foremost, I am pro going commando. So
me too.
I think that it definitely makes sense, if not out in the world, because I understand that that's not something that everybody's comfortable with, but at least at home, like when you get in the house, put on your little house dress and don't put anything on under it. Or when you're sleeping, sleep without panties on, so that you really can like let things breathe. If you must sleep with panties on, try your best for them to be cotton instead of like mesh or lace or some other synthetic fabric, because that's going to be better for like letting things breathe and letting healthy bacteria stay and letting unhealthy bacteria kind of flush its way out. Also, be mindful of the ingredients in the products that you use. When you're looking at your bath and body products, be mindful if it has like ingredients in it that you can't pronounce, ingredients in it that don't need to be in there. For example, there's a lot of body products that have glitter in them. Glitter really serves no purpose for your body besides like looking nice, I guess, if you want to put it, you know, somewhere external, but it certainly does not need to be inside of your body for any reason. So especially when you're looking at like bath bombs, bubble baths, shower products, make sure that there's not stuff in there that doesn't need to be going inside of your body. You also don't need to wash inside of your vagina. I tell people that vagina is like a self-cleaning oven. So it pretty much functions like your eyeball. You don't need to clean inside of your eyeball. Like if it's itching, if there's something in there, then like you fix that. But in general, you don't have to wash inside of your eye. Your vagina functions the same way. So you're gonna wanna clean your vulva because it's external. So if you're sweating, then like you're gonna wanna wash that with soap and water. But there's like a whole industry based off of insecurity around vagina smell. There's all sorts of stuff that make your pussy smell like lavender or pineapple or whatever the fuck. And a pussy is supposed to smell like a pussy. So just clean it with soap and water. Make sure there's not a bunch of extra shit in the soap that you're using, and you're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Shannel.
Like diet is very important. Like we talk about, the easiest thing you could do is drink a lot of water, taking a lot of fruit. You know, like as if you wanted to just lose weight, what would you do? You would eat healthy. You'd be concerned about what you put in your body, because everything in comes out, and it also comes out in the vagina. So you can even manage, like if you are one of those people who's sensitive about the way your vagina smells, you know, like I know when I need to like really reel back on some of the food, because sometimes I can smell like a stronger scent than
like
normal.
garlic.
Right. And it comes through the body. So as natural as you can be in terms of like what you eat, like if something tastes good, but they're just not good for us. Right. And this is the same thing with your vagina. And I know we're gonna talk, but let's jump into it about yoni steams, which have become much like a big thing now about.
I have my yoni steam. I have my yoni steams.
Yeah. You know, so the steaming, using the herbs that, you know, help to kind of go in there, that add a significant amount of moisture to the vagina, as well as just kind of helping to refresh and tighten what you have there, which is also a natural thing. Like Jennifer said, everything external, you know, even if you do use like a scent, like some people like scented body products, but external, other parts of the body, you know, and just treat it very gently.
All right, so we got into yoni steams. Yoni steams is good. You know, I'm learning about them. Before I decided to go there, I asked a lot of questions. I did a lot of research. And when I do my first yoni steam this week, I'm gonna make it very ritual. I have a little stool. I'm not gonna do it on the toilet, because I just felt like that's not a way for me to connect with my ancestors that used to steam as well. Right. I bought a stool and I bought the yoni dress, and I'm really gonna meditate and pray during that time that's going on. That's going to definitely be my me time. Not just about it being cleansing, but also spiritual for me. But I also purchased, and I'm not too sure about this, the yoni pearls. So how y'all feel about the yoni pearls?
That is like you put that in the vagina or something, right?
You put that in the vagina, and it's supposed to stay in the vagina for 3 days. And then you take them out, and then you purge whatever needs to be purged out.
I don't know.
Same herbs.
For me, I think like the steam would be powerful enough. I would be interested about like putting something in there for like 3 days. But if you're
3 days is staying in there.
Well, you better really get your Kegels up if you're gonna do that, because you got to be able to keep that thing in there without it popping out.
It's so tiny.
Yeah,
that's very tiny.
Yeah, but
that's exactly why your Kegels need to be, you know, happening to make sure that your pelvic muscles are able to hold something in there.
Okay. I didn't try it yet, but I'm curious. What you feel, Jennifer? How you feeling about that?
I think she froze.
Oh, Jen.
She'll jump back in.
Okay.
Is
she back? Okay, there you go, Jen.
Did we disconnect? Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, in general, I am anti putting things inside your vagina that don't necessarily need to be there. So I have tried yoni eggs and Kegel balls and different things that I wear specifically either to connect with my vagina or to exercise my vagina. But to keep something in there for an extended amount of time is just not a part of my personal practice. It's not a part of my personal recommendations. If somebody feels particularly like attached to a purpose for doing so, then I'm not going to talk them out of it. But in general, like your vagina needs to be empty in order to do its own kind of self-cleaning and regeneration. So I'm pro letting it do what it does by itself.
Yeah, but I love, Davone, your whole your idea of making this an event for you. And I think that's what's really important, is that celebrating your body, celebrating your vagina, the cleansing of it, the resetting of that, like really meditating into like, you know, renewing the whole self. I think that's really important. And instead of just, you know, I think some people just like sitting on the pot, like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna get tight and wet again so I can just like run the streets again. And I think, you know, I think like what you're doing is really like honoring thyself, right? Honoring the body. And, you know, the more, again, like the more we take care of our body, the more it gives us. And I think that's probably like a great practice for when you are steaming. Cause I was told, I haven't done one yet, but I'm going to do it. Cause I was like, I got to do this thing. Sounds like really, really good. But, you know, some women just do it maybe like 3 times a year. So
I don't know how. I bought a package of 10, so I don't know how much I'm gonna do it. But I definitely, when I do it, I want it to be a spiritual event because, you know, I meditate, I chant, I'm a Buddhist, so everything around me is very spiritual. So I want this to be spiritual as well because she is powerful. She belongs to me. You know, I worship her. There's so many things that she can do.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It has brought women and men to their needs, okay? So she deserves to be worshipped. So I feel like that time is my time to worship her, and I am.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. And probably a lot more women are doing it the same way too. So, and again, it's just one of those things that I'm just really happy that in this quarantine, we're really learning about self-care. What is it that we can do to protect our bodies from the outside forces? What is it that we can do to feel better and to feel stronger? And so this is one of these things that has always been around. None, like, you know, as my grandmother used to say, nothing is new under the sun.
Right.
Nothing's new. It's just either we're talking about it more or it's become the new focus. And so I'm just excited that this has become a stronger focus. Really, you know, the quarantine is getting everyone back to natural, getting back to some of the things and the practices that we should have been doing all the time. And now we're just having more time or making the time to do. So it's exciting. Are you going to tell us how it was?
I will. I definitely will. I have to bring you back on for another talk and I'll tell you how it was.
If it gives you a smile, I don't know how much bigger your smile could get if you're like, your smile is like the best. No.
I tell people all the time, if you both have 36 teeth, I probably have 40 in my mouth.
Oh, for sure. Like, for sure.
I have extra teeth somewhere. Okay, so let's talk about, well, is there anything else that you want to add on, Jennifer?
Yeah, I'll just throw in that I really enjoy herbal baths. So rather than steaming and like sitting over herbs, I'll just put like a bath tea or put some herbs in the bath water with me. That way the water that I'm sitting in can have that herbal infusion. So that's another way for folks who might be like intimidated by the idea of yoni steaming or like inserting herbs with the little pearls or any other kind of suppository. Just doing an herbal bath is a good alternative.
And what herbs do you use in your bath? Did you hear me, Jennifer?
Did I disconnect?
No, you're back. We got you. What herbs do you use in your bath?
So I really like doing green tea baths. I also like using sage to just kind of cleanse. Lavender is really relaxing. So that gives like the aromatherapy. It also helps you sleep better. Passion flower is another herb that I really like, that by some practices is an aphrodisiac. So that might be something to incorporate in your herbal baths before your self-pleasure time or your partner time. So yeah, that would be my top three: lavender, sage, and passion flower.
During COVID, I wanted to do, take more baths, and just relax. So I found a mixture of organic apple cider vinegar, baking soda, essential oils, and I usually put in lemongrass or lavender. And what's the other thing? Oh, baking soda, organic baking soda, and Epsom salt. Did I say Epsom salt?
No, you didn't.
Okay, and Epsom salt. So you put that in the tub. Within minutes, you're sweating. You can just feel like you're detoxing. All this stuff is coming out. I usually soak in there and I drink a nice cup of tea, ginger tea, which helps me sweat some more. And when I come out of it, I just feel like I purged everything. Yeah. Like I just feel relaxed, exhausted, and like everything that was negative, everything that was nasty, everything that wasn't supposed to be in my body came out.
That's an awesome recipe remedy.
I found it online and I was like, okay. And I made sure I tried to get everything organic.
Yeah.
And I did it. And I was doing it like maybe every 3 days during COVID.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Cause I like to do like saunas,
Oh yes. This is going to make you sweat.
Yeah. I like that. That's something great to try.
This is definitely going to make you sweat. Jennifer, we lost you again. You're a little stuck. Okay, we got you. You back? Yeah. All right. So let's talk about toys. Vagina is one of my favorite topics. So this whole conversation, I was so excited about it all week. Okay. So I asked you ladies to pick your top 3 toys that makes your vagina happy. So who wants to start? Jen, are you there?
Let Shannel start while I'm figuring out my connection issues. If I lose you, I'm coming back, I promise.
Okay.
Okay. I know, and my light is changing here. It's crazy. I'm like, it was literally just so sunny. But anyway, you guys can still see me, right? Okay. So I have 4. It's so hard. 3 so
you got
hard.
4? Okay.
But here's why, like going back to our original conversation about different toys for different things. And for once you really like, it's really about learning about your body and what you like. So you have to experiment. And sometimes you will, get yourself a toy that doesn't necessarily do it for you, but you have to experiment to kind of figure out what it is that you like and what you don't like. So, and it's okay to have different toys, which is appropriate. So this first one for me, and like I said, I sell toys, so I use the ones that I sell, right? Get high on your own supply. So
okay.
Right? So this one it's called Make Waves from Pure Romance, but essentially it's just an elongated bullet. So people who like bullets, but you don't necessarily want the string attachment, this is just a rechargeable version of that. And it's just a little longer so that it's soft tipped, high grade silicone, but it's so you can see like the bullet part ends here, but then you got this whole extra tip of soft silicone. So that's really good for when it pushes up against the clitoris, you're really getting all of the sensation and the softness without necessarily the hard end of the bullet, which sometimes you don't want to focus on that part, you want to focus on the pleasure. So it's great for that. And then also because it's a little long, but it's still small, right? So you could do a little vaginal insertion if you like. And I'll tell you, because, in Pretty Tomboys, like one of the posts that I found so interesting was when women talked about, do they like penetration or not? And so some were like, yeah, I don't care. But I think most of the comments were like, no, I don't like penetration. And I get that respect. But what I will say in a health, when we're talking about your sexual health and we're talking about increasing sensitivity and orgasms, it's really important to really play with the very entrance of the vagina, because 2/3 of your nerve endings are right here. So it's really important to, even if you use something small, it's really like, because you're really working right here. So, and I laugh because, you know, a lot of women, you know, hetero women are like, oh, I like a big penis. I don't know why. All that up front top don't do nothing. It's all about the entrance anyway. So once you're out of anything going on the entrance, you're not really feeling what you think you should be feeling. So that's my one. You want us to round robin, or you want me to go to all the ones that I like?
No, do your whole 3.
Oh. So one
Your
we have
4.
in common. Well, one we have in common, so I'll just let you do that one.
Okay.
Right. This one I love because it's so different, right? So I think that's the other thing to remember too, is like, not all toys are phallic. So a lot of toys look very different, but you can use them in different ways. So what I love about this one is that it kind of almost has like that spoon, looks almost like a spoon.
Yeah, it looks like a spoon.
Yeah. And so, you know, so the inside of so the inside of your body is called the vagina. The outside is, we actually call vulva. So actually we're talking about 2 separate things, right? So vagina is all inside, outside is vulva. But I do love this for outside because a lot of women who love clitoral stimulation love the clitoris tapped. You ever had your clitoris tapped? Like that tap? Yeah, I know you have. This is a great toy for like tapping the clitoris, because you get the vibration, and it's got like a little, kind of like a little bit of a lip to it. So it moves back and forth like a lip.
Oh,
And
like a tongue.
Yeah. And then it can bend, so you can put it inside the body if you want. So, you know, it gives you that versatility.
Oh, what's that one called?
Right, I think I have to add that. Oh, and everybody, Shannel's number is up there, 917-968-8397. If you like anything that she's talking about.
I'm so crazy. I'll get you the name of it. I forgot the name of it because I just be using it to move on. I forgot, but I'll get you the name. And then this one I like. This is newer for us. It's called Bump and Grind, and I swear every time I say the name of it, I immediately go to R. Kelly, and I think of the R. Kelly song, and I cringe myself. I'm like, oh, why am I singing this song? But it's I was like, right. But anyway, so now this one people may think is a little more phallic because it's longer. But again, when we're talking about just the entrance of the vagina, it's really important to work that part, because what that's going to do is create a sensation, really helps for your natural lubricants to come down. You know, you want to have, on average, you want to have 225 orgasms a year. And so you want to really make sure that the vaginal walls are as flush as they can be, as moist as they can be. So this is a good one. So it's called the Bump and Grind because the piece here in the middle, as you can see that right there, it actually bumps up to hit up against the G-spot. So, but you can also use it just to pulsate right on the entrance of the vagina. Like, I'll just show you some of the, hold on. There we go. So see, right, how it just kind of like bumps up. So the whole idea of it is that it can knock up against the G-spot, but it also, you can kind of feel that, and you can, you know, rotate it around into the vaginal walls as well. So you can get that kind of knocking around the vaginal walls, which is really important. So yeah, but for me, those are the ones that are rocking. Those are the ones that I'm like presenting to my clients, that like right now, that's what really it's about. And so when I present about toys, I really present them as not just for your sexual health, not just sexual health, but just health, like body health. Like, it's really important. The more orgasms we have, the nicer we are, you know, the better our vagina is, you know, the more lubrication we have, and all of that is really good. I'm gonna get the name of the other one. I just forgot it.
Okay. Jen?
All right. Can y'all see me? Can you hear me? Are we good?
Yes.
Now, okay, perfect. So I have 4 of my favorites. They are all very different, so I had to bring them all. I couldn't decide.
Okay.
So the first one I have is, I'll show this one first. So this is the Marvelous Mini Teaser by Cal Exotics. I really, really like it. One, because the color's pretty. I know a lot of really sick of seeing toys like this very stereotypical sex toy pink. I know that There are also plenty of folks with vaginas who do not identify as women and do not see themselves as a feminine entity and aren't attracted to the color pink. So it's important for there to be a variety of color options that appeal to people with vaginas who aren't necessarily feminine. So that's one of the reasons I really like this toy. It also is really comfortable to hold. It fits right between your pointer and index finger. So if you are a person who likes to masturbate using your fingers and are already kind of used to this motion, you can just incorporate this for an additional vibration on your clitoris. And it's also widespread enough that you can kind of like spread your lips and let it vibrate through the whole area. So you can get a lot of use out of this thing. So that's the Marvelous Mini Teaser, Cal Exotics. I also have, so
Jen,
this thing.
your face frozen. Okay, now we see you. Okay.
Yeah.
We heard you, but your face was frozen the whole time.
Okay, well, as long as you can hear me, that's the important
I can
part.
hear you, but we want to see the toys too.
Okay, so this is the Tracy's dog. There are lots of toys that have a similar function, but this is my particular favorite just because of the way my body is shaped and just because of my particular sensitivities. As we were saying before, the things that I love aren't necessarily going to be the things that you love, but this is really popular and has amazing reviews on Amazon. So a lot of other people love it too. Because
what's the name of it?
It's called Tracy's Dog.
Tracy Dog.
Oh, it has that clitoral suck, right?
So it does. Let me show you why I love this.
That's real big right now. That's huge right now.
So it has two separate motors. The controls are right here, two different buttons. And this button here controls the clitoral stimulator. So inside of here is where your clit goes. And it uses air pulse technology to stimulate the entire area around your clitoris. So not just right on it, but around it, which gives a whole lot of different feelings. It's really similar to like getting your clit sucked on. So if you really like oral sex in that way, then air pulse technology is where you need to go with your toys. Then the second motor is controlled separately by this bottom button. And this is for G-spot stimulation. So this part goes inside of you, and this motor and these ridges hit right on your G-spot. And again, because of the particulars of my body, this shape works really well for me. There are other toys where like this part is longer, or like this is more curved. This particular shape works for me, and it's pretty flexible, so it fits a variety of anatomical structures. So I really like this. You can probably like hear it vibrating because I turned it on. Let me turn this thing off. But yeah, so Tracy's Dog, really, really love this toy. This is like one of my personal go-tos.
Yeah. We have a version, like a really smaller version of that, like with that new suction, and literally can't even keep it in stock. Like,
yeah,
it is the big thing right now. Like,
what's the name of the suction? Air suction?
Yeah.
So this type of technology, there are a lot of toys that use that technology, but it is a fairly new technology to the sex toy industry. So you'll find a lot of different toys by a lot of different names that use that air pulse technology.
Yeah.
Air pulse technology.
Satisfier is one of them. Womanizer has a bunch of toys that have that same suction effect as well. So there's lots of
we have the womanizer technology. That's the one that we went with, but yep.
Yeah, like friends have access to that technology now, because like I personally, Satisfier was like the only one that used that, and you know, that different shapes and colors and options, so a variety of people can have access to that technology. I also, my new favorite. So this is a modern version of the very classic magic wand. So this I really enjoy, again, because of the color. I like the way it looks. It's also a very like.
You're frozen again, Jen.
Feels good in your hand. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there you go. It's like you move and then.
Yeah, you have to move constantly. I think you can't stay still.
Okay.
Okay, so keep moving.
Yeah.
I'll do this. is the Flex Wand by Romp. And I really, really like this toy because it has really intense vibrations. It also gives you a variety of vibration patterns. So it does like just the steady buzz, but it also does like the bzz, 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 like the intervals. It does like a wave where it'll start off really intense and then mellow out to a slower vibration and then go back up. So it gives your body a whole lot of different stuff to try. And the head is flexible. So that means you can get to things at a variety of different angles, especially if you're using this with a partner and they're a runner, then you can like make sure that you're staying where you want it to be. So I really, really like that about it. At least in my mind, I haven't been having that in the Rona. So in my mind, when I am they're catching this because it is for both of us, because I'm kind of a tease and kind of a sadist, so we're gonna have lots of fun with this thing.
I think that's Earl's toy.
Okay,
that Earl's toy.
Earl liked this one. And then speaking of like not engaging in person, so this is the Rave by WeVibe.
Move a little bit so we can see it. Yeah, move around. We don't see you. Still stuck holding that magic wand.
Yes, Earl's wand.
Hey, Earl's wand. Okay, yep. Now we got you.
Okay, perfect. So this is the Rave by WeVibe, and it is a G-spot toy, so it's meant to be used inside, but most toys can be used more than one way, so you can absolutely use the vibration externally as well. It's shaped differently than a lot of internal toys, so instead of being rounded at the end, it has like a flatter end, and it's also asymmetrical, so depending on how you turn it, it's going to feel and it is app controlled, meaning that somebody can control this thing from the room. So that is a lot of fun, especially for folks who are social distancing or separated from partners or single and trying to figure out how to get off and connect with people safely. You can send them the link to your WeConnect app, and you can let them control your toy and have a little virtual session. So,
are you serious?
Toys are so fun. Like, I literally don't get, like, I do expos and stuff. Well, obviously, but pre-corona, and women would be like, oh, no, I don't know about that. I'm like, sis, what are you doing then? What are you guys doing then? Like, these things are so amazing. And then with technology, and you literally, like Jen was saying, you could just like have an orgasm and the other person doesn't even have to be there. That's the best part. Give me my orgasm and get out. Like,
Jen and Shannel, both of you, when this is all over, you need to text me all of these names and where to get it from so I can post it up in the group.
Yeah.
Because, I need to know too.
Definitely.
I need to know too. Okay, so Jen, you have one more, or that was it?
Jen? That's it. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have my three. My first one is the classic, the bullet. She is my favorite for traveling because, you just round her up, throw her in the bag. She's good. You traveling by yourself, you can still take care of yourself at night. You traveling with a partner, you want to add a little to it. She's there. It's not going to take up much room in your suitcase, the bullet. This is an old time favorite. You had the new version. The magic wand. This is the original. The original magic wand. She only takes about 3 seconds with me. This is when I can't go to sleep. I'm a Virgo. My brain is just going crazy. I'm thinking about a million things. And I'm like, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I need to get up by 7. I can't go to sleep. Plug her up. I'm not even gonna plug her up because she is too strong. Like she's, and I'm done. I'm sleeping. Like
that's how Brookstone stayed in business. They've been selling that toy for. They've been selling that back massager.
Right, and I was just about to say it's supposed to be a back massager.
Yeah, I think it would break your back. Quite honestly, I was like,
no. This thing, and I remember when I got it, I got the newer version. And then somebody told me, oh, that's a magic wand. Da, 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 da. And I was like, oh, so I started researching it. This thing is like $100 now. The original. That's my baby. She puts me to sleep. And then I have a new toy. It is a You're breaking up, Jen. We didn't hear you, Jen. Oh, somebody said that's my shit, the wand.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
See? That wand is everything.
I think people either had a bullet, or a wand.
You gotta. That has to be in your toy chest. I don't care if you have a partner, you're married. I truly believe whether you're married, you have a partner, a long-term partner, whatever the case may be, you still have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
you know, sometimes you just want to take care of yourself. Sometimes you don't want all of that. You just want a quickie with yourself. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay to take care of her. All right, so my new favorite that I got from Shannel is called the butterfly effect.
Yes.
And so we had a discussion prior to us starting this conversation, all three of us, and I was telling them that, you know, I love penetration from my partner because that's more of a mental thing for me. Not so much of a sexual or physical thing for me. Mentally, I get off seeing my partner on top of me, giving me penetration. I have to go into that mental space for me to orgasm. So I wouldn't say I'm not big on penetration. I'm just big on penetration with the right person. Mm-hmm. And I have to get into that space. But so when I got this, I was like, I don't know if I want to put anything inside of me because I'm definitely a clitoris stimulation type of girl. But once you put it inside of her and you're yummy, then this kind of like cuffs the clitoris and this hits my little special button on my clitoris. And then you could play with the remote by yourself, or you can have your partner play with the remote across the room. Or what I was thinking about, which I haven't done, is doing it outside.
Yes, take it on the road.
All this right here will be just right there up against your vagina. You put your panties on, and then voila. Oh, I gotta turn it on so you can see. And it has like how many pulsations does it have?
I think it has about like 6 or 7, right?
It might be more than that.
Yeah.
You probably can't hear it, but it's vibrating, and then it's vibrating some more, and then it does some more. You see the little red light going on, and and then it pop, 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 pop. Yep. Anyway.
It's the perfect all-purpose toy. Like if someone asks me what is a toy that literally lights up the sensation of everything, that is what it would look like. So you get a little bit of the internal stimulation, it curves up a little bit so it could knock up against the G-spot, but then you get the whole outside that hits up against your whole vulva. So you got the clitoris, you got the clitoral hood, you've got your labias, everything is working at the same time. So that's like the perfect toy to do everything. If you're like, I just want to do everything, it's gonna touch everything. So
the remote.
Yes.
Look at join in.
Of course. And that's and regardless, even if it's a bullet or it's the magic wand, like any toy could be used with both people. It doesn't have to be like a solo act. Anybody can get into the game with it. So it's just like how creative you become.
I just imagine, because I could become moody, a little bitchy at times. And I just imagine that inside of me, we out and I get into a little argument, all of a sudden she just goes, and I'm like, okay.
Argument over. You'll be like, let's table this conversation till later. Yeah. But
right. Jennifer, you still there? Did we lose you?
I think I'm still here.
Okay, you're there. Okay. You gotta move, Jennifer, because when you're not moving, it just stays frozen, and we want to see all of you.
Move it, like you get into like a new frame.
Yes. So let's get into kink. Jen.
Oh, that was the question? Okay.
That wasn't a question. That was the intro into kink.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, kink is a variety of things to a variety of people. They're like, just like anything, kink exists on a spectrum. So if your definition of kink is like blindfolds and handcuffs with your partner at home, then that is fine. If your definition of kink is an orgy with a bunch of people at a play party using all sorts of restraints and things, then like that can also be your definition of kink. And none of those things are wrong. None of those things deserve to be shamed. And also, if you're not interested in any of those things, that's also fine. I think that a lot of people think that kink is this like aspirational thing. Like, oh, well, once I'm comfortable enough with my partner, I'll be able to explore kink. Or once I've reached whatever milestone, then we can get kinkier. If you don't want to, that is fine. Kink is not a requirement for anyone or for any, for any sexual dynamic. And kink is also broader than how you have sex. It is often referred to as a lifestyle because it can exist outside of your relationships and partnerships, outside of your bedroom. It can very much show up in, how you talk to someone, how you dress, how you carry yourself, how you, what it is that you want out of life in general. So there's levels. There's definitely levels. But when it comes to starting out, communication is absolutely key. So figuring out what it is that you want and what you want to try, and then how to communicate that to, the folks that you want to try it with or not try it with. You can try it alone as well. I have plenty of things that, I like to use in my solo time that when outside opens, maybe someone else will get to join me, but for the time being, they're for me.
With kink, should we have a certain word that we use to make sure we're not going too far?
Like a
safe word?
I think safe words are good to have in general, not just in kink, but in vanilla sex, in whatever type of interaction you're having with a person. Anything can go too far. Anything can, happen in a way that's not ultimately pleasurable. And so being able to develop a scale, whether it's like the red, yellow, green system, where like green means we're good, yellow means we need to slow down or back off a little bit, red means stop completely, or it can be a number scale where it's like, all right, I'm enjoying this at a 10. This is great, this is wonderful, don't change anything about what you're doing, or like, I'm only enjoying this at a 3. Maybe we should switch it up and do something different. So yes, I recommend having a safe word for exploring anything new, but I also think it's really important to have a comfortable way to get out of an uncomfortable sensation, whether it's kinky or not.
Yeah. And that's great. I think that's so true because, and I'll give you an experience I had where, so I was with a partner. I'll be clear, I am a top bitch. I like to be, I'm a top bitch. So, and I think when I'm on top, that's when I get way more into my masculine energy. Cause like, that's like the control level for me. And so I was engaging with a partner and I did something that I was pleasing me. And then I didn't realize that for them, it was a little too far, right? Cause we never had that conversation. I just kind of went into it. And so I think what Jen says is really important, like having a safe word or just even communication from the beginning. Like what are things that a non-judgmental conversation, right? What are things that people like sexually? And not that you'll do them with that person, but just so you can kind of understand who's in front of you. And yeah, like if we need to have safe words, or what are things that we can or cannot do, because the after conversation was not that the person didn't like it, was that they would have preferred that, you know, they kind of got permission to be touched in such a way. So you know, lesson learned. But yeah, communication, and this whole thing is all about communication. Like,
it
it's
is
all about communication. And I think it's important to do, like Jen said, do some things on your own. Because again, it's about exploring your own body and what is it that you like. And you'll be surprised. There's so many I'll say non-sexual, for lack of a better word right now, just things that you and your partner can do, or that you can do by yourself, and that you can just learn more about your body and really how to move into certain and feel, and then bring that into, you know, that positive relationship that you're having.
I totally agree. I'm definitely a top bitch, but it's hard when you're with an aggressive woman, a dominant woman. So, oh, we lost Jen. Oh, she comes back.
She'll jump back in.
So in my kink, I like to, you know, ask, can I tie you up? Oh, Jen's coming back. You know, things that I can feel powerful and dominant in that area. You know, because for the most part in my relationship, I try to bring down my aggressiveness and be more submissive, because my mate is more dominant. And at times it works, at times it doesn't. But in the bedroom, I like to play with how you back, Jen?
I'm here.
Okay, good. I like to play with how far I can be dominant with her before she feels like she's being too submissive. I like to, you know, rock the boat a little bit, just play the line a little bit and see how far I can go with my kink.
Yeah. And I think that's a great thing to do. Like, I think that's a good strategy for anyone, is you're always going to push it a little bit, right? Because sometimes I think people just say no because they don't know, right? So they just automatically say, nope, I'm not doing that, because they don't really know enough about it, or if they haven't experienced it before. So I think sometimes it's important you got to push just a little bit, not all the way, right? But just like a little bit, so that it can grow on that person, or they can really understand. And I think when you do that, you find that the experience is just so much better.
When I was younger, probably in my 20s, I would go, I'm not having anal sex. I'm just not going to have anal sex. And so in my, actually, probably end of my 30s, the beginning of my 40s, I would ask my partner at the time, you want to have anal sex? Because I was curious. And so I tried maybe about 6 times, and it just didn't do it for me. But I feel better now. Huh? What'd you say?
A lot of try. 6 times.
I tried. I mean, well, I really did. I tried. And it wasn't with 6 different people. It was like actually with 3 different people. And so I couldn't get relaxed enough. And I was curious, because I hear women that absolutely love it. And which I had to realize that when you love anal sex, you love anal sex. And when you don't, you just probably really not. And it really doesn't depend on the size or the person. It really depends on, I think, what that nerve ending back there is for you.
Right.
You know, everybody doesn't have that sensation back there. To me, it just felt like somebody was putting something very foreign back there, and it was very uncomfortable for me. But I know women that be like, I love that better than vagina sex.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, all right, boo.
Yeah. And you know, and even with you know, people just assume that women all orgasm through clitoral stimulation or vaginal stimulation, and that's not
true.
Like, I know me personally, like, I'm not saying, I enjoy oral sex, but it's not how I get my orgasms. I love the act of it, but it's not how I get my orgasms. You know, there has to be like way more going on, you know? So, but again, like, it's just, at least you try 6 times. I think some people were like, I go 1 time, that's it. I'm not doing this.
I tell anybody now, it's an exit only hole. I tried. I mean, I gave it a good effort on it. And I was like, it's just not for me. Jen, we lost you, Jen.
Yeah, she gotta like move around again.
Jen. Okay, so
This
is she back? You back, Jen?
Hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. You're not, you just have your face, but we can hear you. Maybe you should take the video off and just have sound, and then maybe it'll be better.
Is that better? Let's try it.
Okay, let's see. All right, talk.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly?
We can.
Okay, great. So when it comes to anal, I think that a lot of people go 0 to 100 and then they're like, oh, I don't like it. So they'll go from never having had any sort of stimulation to that area to trying to put a dick in their butt. And they're like, oh, that was awful. Well, yes, because you didn't warm up, you didn't train, you're trying to do something that you saw in porn or heard somebody talk about. And it's usually like the friend who really loves it. And they're like, oh yeah, honey, he just spit on it and put his dick in there and it's great. No, that's not how it's somebody who is trying it for the first time. It also doesn't have to ever involve an entire penis or phallus or dildo going in your butt. You can get a butt plug, you can get an anal vibrator, you can use fingers, you can use a variety of toys and oral techniques to stimulate that area, and that still can very well count as anal sex. We still have this very like heteronormative way of thinking of sex as putting a phallic shaped something inside an orifice, and that does not have to be what your sex looks like. So if you are interested in trying anal but don't want a dick in your butt, then I absolutely suggest starting out with a small plug or with fingers, and also using lots and lots of lube. The main difference between vaginal sex and anal sex is that the anus does not self-lubricate, and spit is not lube. So purchasing a lube would be the way to go, rather than relying on anything that your body naturally produces, because that's just not going to be sustainable in an area that does not self-lubricate.
Yeah. Digit sex is so underrated, Jennifer. Wouldn't you say? Like, people do not use their fingers enough. Like, you can get so much pleasure just from, again, going back to natural, going back to the things that you have, just to bring pleasure to yourself. So, because I mean, I like me a finger here and there.
Well, I like the tongue back there.
Oh,
yeah. Do a finger. Yeah.
Sure.
But I love a tongue. Put your whole face in it.
Just brumsky, just
put your whole face in it. It's really on wet. Oh, and I don't know if it's just because of that or the fact that I'm thinking about somebody's whole face in my ass. Like, sex is very mental for me. So
yep.
That just makes everything just Anyway.
I think you're like having memories there. Like, do you need to go off camera for a minute?
I had to bring it back. I had a moment.
But that's also important too when we're talking about exciting the vagina, using things. The biggest sex organ we have is our brain.
Yes.
And so the things that we think about, we manifest, we can conjure, our brain sends all of the sensors to the other parts of our body. So like if you want your, sometimes if you feel like your vagina and your vulva aren't as sensitive or as receptive as you want them to be, you need to start thinking about it. You need to start breathing. Your breathing is very important. And Davone, you meditate. It's all about releasing the energy in the body. That is huge for having orgasms in the vagina and around the vulva. Like the brain, you have to let your brain talk to the rest of your body and like really send those sensors out. It's just like really so important.
Jen, are you back?
I'm here.
Okay. You want to add something? Oh,
Yes, what Shannel said, that like your mind or your headspace is definitely going to impact how receptive you are to certain things. I know that a lot of folks masturbate for stress relief, but if you're still thinking about your work day or cleaning your house or how your kids or whatever, then that's not really going to get you to a state of pleasure. So it's really important for your mind to be relaxed so that your body can relax and so that your vagina and your vulva can function.
Oh, we lost Jennifer again.
Yeah. But I'll take over a little bit on that, what she was talking about. But yeah, especially for women, it's really important for us to relax. Like you can literally, because of what you're thinking about in your head, stop your whole body from feeling anything or having an orgasm or like when you're having sex or someone's doing something to you, you need to be absolutely present and focused in that moment. You can't be thinking about other stuff you have to do, or, you know, am I going to do laundry and all this other stuff. And I know for women, like you take care of so many things, you know, you take care of other people, family, some people who not even your family, and you're taking care of them. Women are so quick to put ourselves last. And so even in putting ourselves last, we put our pleasure last as well. And so in order for you to really get a full body experience, you have to really put yourself first. You have to be super present at exactly what it is that you're doing. So the mind that's great, Davone, that you do that. You have to think about this is so, and I get that. Like, yo, it is nothing sexier than smashing somebody's whole ass face in your whole ass. Okay.
Yes.
Like, it is like kiss the queen, right? I'm always like, I don't have to like it, but you will kiss the queen. That's what it's all about. So that is so important for like but you got to be in that space. Like, this is what I like and I love it and I want to see it. I want to experience it. And when you have a partner who is like down for it, it's even better, even better.
You are so right about having to be present in that moment. I can't even have the TV on when I'm having sex. Like, I want to hear my partner moan and groan. I want to hear her enjoying herself down there giving me oral. That turns me on. I cannot be having sex and listening to the news talking about tomorrow's gonna be 90 degrees. Like, that's where my brain is going to go. And I also have to be present, and I can't think about all the 1,000,001 things I have to do tomorrow. I need to be right here in this moment. And once I'm there, the heavens open up.
It's an event. It's an event. It's an event. It's a spiritual event, and you need to make it an event worthy, right? Like, I'm all about candles and room spray. Those are like my mojo. So yeah, I'm all about like lighting candles, like non-champa. That is like my scent, like non-champa off. Like,
that's a strong scent.
Cause I'm ready, right? So like, I put that on, and that, like, you know, scents the room, and that also illuminates the room. And then I've got, like, you know, sexy linen spray, so that way you get that all around. And it's an event, and people should treat it that way. You know, sex should not just be something. Even if you are just having sex for the sake of sex, just for your pleasure, still make some kind of event out of it, you know, so that you can really just get everything that you want out of it. So yeah,
lingerie, massage oils, all of that, light candles. Yeah, I'm not big on music, but you know, I can have music playing very low. I like to hear the person.
Oh, I can hear, yeah, but I'm a lot. I want all that. I'm gonna put on something, and I want the candles, I want it to smell, I want the music. Like, it's a whole event. I want it to be an event because I want to really, really enjoy it. But all those things too create relaxing sensory for us. So it's about relaxing yourself. So anything that you need to do that relaxes you, you want to bring that into the space, because it's just going to make everything just so much easier.
Yes. Jan, are you back? I see you have your mic off.
I'm here. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to stay connected. Can you hear me?
I know. Talk to us.
All right. As long as y'all can hear me, we're good.
Yeah. The storm sucks. It's just like, I don't know, it's tearing up the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that mental space is really, really important. And also just allowing yourself to explore, not necessarily judging yourself for the things that you want. There are certain things that you might want to try that you never thought was something you would be open to, or never thought that was something you would have to figure out how to introduce to your partner. And now you're interested in it and you have to figure out how to have that conversation. And that can happen in a fun and non-judgmental way. There's plenty of like resources online for like how to talk to your partner about your kinks, or different games you can play to kind of open your eyes to different things, or figure out how your partner feels about different things. So yeah, just don't judge yourself. Just allow yourself to have the room to explore.
Yeah, and like laugh at yourself. Sometimes you might do something and you'll be like, yeah, that didn't go the way I thought it would. And it's okay. Like, it's, you be like, oh, well, I tried it and I didn't like it, or I felt weird about it, or whatever. Like, it's okay to, it's okay to laugh at yourself. It's okay to, just have fun. Like, that's what it is. Like, just for, like, don't take it seriously. It's just sex. Like, just have fun,
Yeah, I think a lot of people take sex too seriously. You should. I love when it's so good, and afterwards you could just plop on the bed and just laugh at everything that just happened, or how sweaty you are, or how two bodies were sweaty and all you heard was this plop, plop, plop. It sound like two 300-pound people having sex.
That sweat smack is crazy.
I love it though. It's hilarious. I giggle.
Because it'd be crazy, but nobody stops.
Right. That's what makes it good. Like, don't stop. Or the infamous when they're pulling it out and it sounds like a fart.
Yeah. The queef? Oh my God.
Nobody stopped.
Be like, oops. Oh well.
Call that the sex fart.
Yes.
All that air comes out.
Yes, queefs are hilarious. You do, but you do be laughing. You laugh, or you literally, or sometimes you might get a mid-stop, like, wait a minute, what is going on? You be like, look, don't stop.
Don't stop. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
Long as
Look at the real part. Look at the real part.
Exactly.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I had such a wonderful time talking to y'all tonight. This conversation was so well needed.
Yes, thank you.
I loved it, Jen.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. It is about time for me to go prepare for Tiny Tub.
So that's what I was going to tell you. Tell everybody about Tiny Tub and where they can find you on Instagram.
So Tiny Tub is my twice-a-week IG live talk show where I talk about sex, self-care, kink, and current events, all from my bathtub. I bring on guests from adult entertainment, erotic art, sex education. So I've had guests from sex therapists to porn producers to adult film actors to burlesque dancers, all joining me from their bathtubs to talk about what they have going on, how they're coping with the changes in their life and their careers from the pandemic, and what their sex lives look like right now, because a lot of our sex lives, including mine, has changed drastically. So if you would like to tune into Tiny Tub, you can follow me on IG at Slut of the Month, and I am there every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern.
So tonight, 10 p.m., go over to Jennifer's IG, Slut of the Month, and at 10 p.m., you will see her in her tub and her guests in their tub having a really great conversation. Shannel, tell us how we can reach you, what you have for us, everything that you do.
So you can reach me on Instagram at The Sex CEO. You also, if you want to become part of my Facebook community, that's awesome too. So I do that. So I really focus, I'm the other side of Jen's part. So I really focus on partying. So I do virtual parties right now. It's kind of changed the business. And we can do social distancing in person, and definitely a lot of one-on-one. So, and like I said, I just really focus on like that bath body stuff, and as well as like any toys or anything that you need. So always here for any help or questions that you have about different things that you're thinking about, or things that you might see out there and you want. If you want an honest opinion, you ask me, because I'll tell you. Like some things I'll be like, you don't want that because you hate your vagina. Like you don't want that. So, but yeah, I wrote a book called Ready, Set, O, that you certainly can find on, you can find it on Amazon.com, and it's all about different ways to ignite your sexy. So it's a great intro book for women who are just really trying to get to like, they're at 0 level, maybe they need to get to like level 1, or like level 1 need to get to level 2. So I'm really excited about that as well.
All right, and you know where you can find me. Facebook, Davone Madison. Instagram, she is _D Madison. Twitter, she is _D Madison. YouTube, Conversations with Davone. And anywhere else I may be, I may pop up on your block, who knows? So, just say hi if you see me. Hey, So it's been a pleasure. I love speaking to y'all tonight. And as always, love, much love. Thank you.
My shirt. Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. Shannel has on Pretty Tomboys tank top.
You can see, right?
Yes, Shannel repping Pretty Tomboys. And you can get that tank top on prettytomboys.com.
And I will tell you, I love it that it's like flat, and it has a lot of stretch, because I've gained probably like 15 pounds in the COVID.
We all did.
Yeah, so this is actually a large. I bought a large, and my breasts are 38G. So I'm packing for real. And it like literally slid right over, perfectly fit to the body. And I know like when I slim down, it's just gonna look like even better. And I love the design. So thank you, Pretty Tomboy. And I was happy to support Black business. And support your people and your friends. So I was happy to do that. And I love it. I gotta get another one.
Gina designed that. So you gotta give it up to Gina Malik, my business partner.
Thanks, Gina.
All right, everybody. Much love. And tune in tonight. Go to IG, Slut of the Mom, 10 p.m. She'll be in her tub.
Yeah.
And I know you're gonna love seeing her talk from her tub tonight. Until next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.